guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and so you may on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of In Case of Emergency. So, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Also, y'all keep in mind, I'm still doing the affiliate link with Green Gaming, especially with Resident Evil 4 coming out tomorrow. If y'all want to buy that, you'll get an awesome discount on the website. Just use my, click on my affiliate link. It'll take you to the site. Anything you buy, I get commission from it. Also, my lovely partner, Elle, is taking commission, so I've got links to our FA and Twitter in the description. But anyway, y'all, let's jump right back in, shall we? Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Alright. Hello? Anyone there? We felt the ground shake. Is everything okay? We're in here. Can you hear us? Keiran? Oh, wrong voice. Keiran? You hear multiple sets of footsteps running towards the caved-in wall. We're on the other side of the rocks. There was a minor disturbance of some sort. We're trapped, but otherwise unharmed. Is everything okay? There's a bunch of void on the other side here. For a moment, it appeared to be chasing us. Is it no longer on the move? No. It's just big pockets of it all along the walls and ground. Keep doing the wrong voice. Alright. No. It's just big pockets of it along the walls and ground. What's going on? It's never been this bad before. We're getting closer to its source. It would seem as though our appointment with the heart has been moved up. There should be another route that will take you to the center of the mountain. Take it, and we'll meet you there. Will do! Keiran, are you okay? I'm fine. You shake your throbbing ankle, thinking that might make it better. It doesn't, and it just makes you wince in pain. Just a weird ankle thing. I can walk it off. There's a pause from the other side of the rocks. You think they've left, but then a final voice comes through. Try not to die, man! I'll try. I'll do my best. After a moment, you eventually hear the sound of footsteps receding behind the rock wall. Remus nods in your direction. We should begin to move as well. Remus takes the lead again, and you trudge beside him with your hands shoved in your pockets, favoring your good leg. Your heart is still racing from your close call. One paw goes anxiously to the sword that hangs from your hip for comfort. The cool metal of its pommel reassures you. Well, the sprained ankle and adrenaline pumping through your veins, at least you're off to a good start. The mountain is remarkably silent for the rest of your trek, but it still seems too risky to even touch anything. What if you set something off again and you're just trapped down here forever? Without the sky above you, it's hard to measure the passage of time. The same softly glowing crystals and smooth, weathered walls of the rock pass you by every minute. You're not sure if you've been walking for 3 minutes or 30. You try not to think about your conversation with Luke, but it keeps replaying in your head like a video clip on loop. Did you say the right thing? Sometimes it feels like there's this distance between what you're trying to say and what ends up being said, like a glass pane between you and the world. Wasn't somebody supposed to teach you how to be a functional person? Who dropped the ball there? And that's how my brother tried to kill me. At any rate, I believe we should make a left here. Wait, what? Oh, I said that I had a brother. He was a twin, actually. Like you, he was a college man himself. Right, but what about after that? After university? I'm not sure he ever left. He always had his head in his books. Not that I was very different. I suppose we were both dreamers in our own way. No, I mean, what was that about him trying to kill you? Oh, yes. He pushed me down an old well once, and when we were young, I was lost down there for the entire day. It was quite terrible, really. Cold, damp, dark. I thought I might never find my way out. The opening felt miles away. Through it, I watched a tiny circle of blue sky transform into night, and I looked up at the stars and wished I could be anywhere else. In the end, however, my parents found me, pulled me up, and chastised me for being so careless. But I certainly don't begrudge my brother for his actions. I very likely would have done the same to him given the opportunity. Is he still around? Where is he now? Somewhere far away, I imagine. I haven't spoken to him in ages. Remus looks upwards in thought, and his expression is almost childlike in his reverie. I don't think he would have enjoyed a life of royalty. You're saying he didn't want to be king. Well, firstly, he never had the opportunity. Don't mistake me for a blue-blooded royal, Keiran. I earned this crown myself. I founded this land, I charted its maps, built its castles, and battled its monsters. Peregrine is very much a land of my own creation. A man of character! I always suspected my brother was ashamed of my flights of fancy, but that is how it so often is with siblings. 1 second, y'all. Water time. Alright. It can be difficult to get along, even with family, when one is so different. Yep, You can attest to that. I feel the same way. I think that's how my sister feels about me. She's the responsible one, and I'm the less responsible one. You wonder what Kiri's doing. Isn't her wedding coming up? You haven't talked to her all week. Weren't you supposed to help arrange catering or something? It can be a lonely life to be so misunderstood. I had always hoped that Peregrine would be a haven for fellow misfits and dreamers, first and foremost. A place for people like you and I. We could be lonely together. I like the sound of a place for just the two of us. Careful, Keiran, you might give an old man ideas. Remus laughs, but his gaze lingers on you for a little too long. Your gut rolls with the thrill of playing with fire. Oh? What kind of ideas? One's not to be shared in decent company. I'm pretty good at being indecent. Remus shakes his head, chuckling. I've never met anyone quite like you. It's a rare gift you have, Keiran. Not everyone can claim to have a destiny like you do. Some of us are fortunate enough to have callings and passions. Yes, but this is a world where your essence is vital to its continued existence. Can you say the same of anywhere else? You think on this for a moment. It's true. There's nowhere else your disappearance would matter as much. A rumble from above interrupts your train of thought, reminding you that you're not out of danger quite yet. Come, let us make haste. After what feels like another mile of walking, it's becoming clear that your ankle isn't getting any better. It's starting to feel hot and swollen under your boots, and you're very visibly limping now. Remus stops in his tracks when he notices. Keiran, you're hurt. I have to be strong for women. What? What? That's so stupid. Okay, what? Oh, yeah, I am. We should stop. I have bandages in my backpack. You try to protest, but Remus won't hear any of it. As your king, I order you to rest. That shouldn't be as hot as it is. Remus leads you to a large boulder where you reluctantly sit, shifting your weight onto one foot. Take off your boots. It doesn't take long for you to unstrap your footwear while Remus produces a roll of bandages from his pack. I feel like we're wasting time. It's not that big of a deal, really. Then you underestimate your value. Remus unfurls the bandages with practiced precision. With a few motions, he wraps a strip of cloth around the arch of your foot, pulling it taut with his hands. His nose hovers around the inside of your leg, and you swear you can feel his breath every time he exhales. I don't feel very valuable like this. Remus chuckles as you swing your bandaged leg for emphasis. Stay still. You obediently stop moving, letting him wrap the bandage around the rest of your ankle. His hands graze your fur with every movement, and he huffs under his breath as he proceeds with his triage work. You're pretty good at this. I've picked up many talents over the years. A little first aid is among the most mundane. How does a king get to be so good with his hands? The same way he learns to plant a garden, to manage the needs of an entire land, to greet the latest round of heroes to the realm. Time. You're never sure if you're wanting for more time or less. Grow up. Sometimes I wish I could fast forward past this part of my life. Then I could get to the part where I have a house and a car and a consistent sleep schedule. Why is that? I don't know. Actually, maybe that's the part I don't like, not knowing what to do. It's so much easier here in Peregrine, because you get a sword and something to stab. Back home, everything is so much more complicated. Maybe if you were clever enough to know what you wanted, you wouldn't be whining. Remus finishes wrapping your ankles. He leans back on his heels. There. All done. There. All done. Good job holding still. You shiver involuntarily at the loss of his touch. Thanks. Thanks for fixing me up. Remus nods. We can't have our champion walking around hobbled, can we? Renewed by your short rest, the two of you trek towards the heart of the mountain with newfound vigor. Remus doesn't talk much, but he's neither cold nor callous. He must be feeling the nerves as much as you are. Eventually, the ceiling above your heads grows taller and wider until you step into a ballroom-sized cavern, the ceiling so high you can barely see where it ends. You've made it. The heart of Peregrine pulses before you. Its blue, crystalline structure lies suspended over a pit of void, held in place by strands of sinew as delicate as glass. The cool light in its center pulses like a live heart. Just below it, a narrow strip of stone cuts through the pit like the needle of a compass. As you step into the room, the crystal embedded in the walls all bright at once. Your sword hums with the same resonance, producing a harmony that you can feel reverberate in your bones. It knows we're here. We must act quickly. What about the others? Remus glanced at you almost apologetically. You realize something, you think, in retrospect. You've known this whole time. They will make it in their own time. For now, only your presence will suffice. I've been waiting for you, and you alone. So I need to just kill this thing and everything will go back to normal? Indeed. What you see before you is the heart of Peregrine. It is the loom on which the world is spun. I once described the void as a disease, but to describe it as such would be a mischaracterization. If the world is a tapestry, the void is not its moths but its thread, its weave and its fray. Woven together, the void makes up Peregrine's valleys and mountains, its rivers and oceans. It makes people and commerce, the winds and the earth, thorns as well as blades. What we call the resolution is its unraveling. Without form, it lies in darkness, threatening to pull the thread of all existence. This is the raw material of existence, untempered by the touch of the loom. We can kill it? So we're not here to destroy the heart. Keiran, I promised you a tale of heroics and conquest, and for that I apologize. I have misled you. Remus looks genuinely apologetic, his face contorting in a way that sends ripples across his usually placid expression. If the heart dies, then Peregrine dies. But then why am I here? Why did the sword choose me? You brandish the sword aloft, waving it around like a lost spelunker with a torch. The flat of your blade catches the blue light of the crystal, and on its surface you catch a glimpse of your own warped reflection. You will have to forgive me for the extended metaphor. Are you familiar with spinning a wheel? A spinning wheel twists raw fibers, turning them into thread and yarn to make textiles from. Your items, in your case the sword, act as such a catalyst. You arrive into this world as tangled wool, and your adventure has spun you into the thread. A shudder runs down the length of your spine, setting your fur standing on end. For if the tapestry is to be repaired, it requires new material. I'm just thread? So I'm just thread that's going to become part of this world? I'm sorry. I truly am. If there were any other way... Is that what happened to all the other people? You said there were heroes before us. Yes. In order for Peregrine to continue, it must renew itself with an outside source. You, your friends, were shaped by your journeys, molded to become worthy contributors to the fabric of Peregrine. Your heart rises to your throat. More than anything else, you're struck by a profound sense of unfairness. I didn't even get to go on a proper adventure. Remus's eyebrows furrow. Yes, that is true. The bridge was an unexpected development, allowing us to circumvent many parts of the traditional journey. Still, let's see. I'm kind of interested to see these other options. Well, that's what's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna be fucking woven into the world tapestry? Yes. Oh, shit. Alright, so... That doesn't seem nice. Alright, let's see. So I'm actually ready? So maybe I'm not actually prepared to repair this place. I need more time. I can't go yet. You're not actually resetting the world. You said it yourself. Peregrine needs a new thread every time. Every time you fix it, it comes out a little different than before. How many planks of a ship can be replaced before there's no longer Theseus's? Remus takes a step forward, forcing you closer towards the edge of the void. Your pulse races as you scan your surroundings. You think you hear footsteps coming down the hall. Back up. You just need to stall until your friends get here. I don't know. How many planks can be replaced before it's no longer the same ship? What if I'm the last plank? Remus closes his eyes and heaves a heavy sigh. When he opens them again, he speaks fondly, like he's recalling a familiar memory. Oh, let's see. Alright, this isn't Rebirth. You're not actually resetting the world. Oh, okay, so... Alright, so... okay, I guess some of these options don't actually do anything. Alright, so let's... Alright, let's, see what he's got. Once upon a time, there was a young man. He was much like you, with few friends but a rich inner world. Others never seemed quite sure what to make of him. One day his brother pushed him down a well. Buried in the wet silt, he found something he could not believe. A golden circlet, muddy but intricately engraved. Placing the crown upon his head, he discovered that it fit him perfectly. A new world was unveiled for him. One spun from his deepest fantasies. It was everything he had ever dreamed. For years the world nurtured him, sustained him. It gave him everything he wanted, responded to his desires, and kept him in a state of bliss. But such a world could not last. It was not designed to sustain a single dream for so long. The world needed new blood. New thread for its loom. Remus takes another step forward. Instinctively, you draw your sword, but Remus doesn't flinch. You steal a glance behind you, looking out over the expanse of void you're quickly approaching. Your heart begins to beat rapidly in your chest as you realize you're running out of time. Your collar feels like it's too tight, and it's getting hard to breathe. This is what Dad felt that day in his office when he keeled over and died? Power necessitates the construction of subjects made disposable and marked for death. Are we the damsel? What now? What happens now? Remus gestures to the expanse of the void that the heart lies suspended over. I asked you once, Keiran, what you would leave behind in your absence. This is your chance to make something meaningful out of your life. Isn't this what you wanted? Fuck you. Let's see what the other choice is. Am I going to die? Remus gestures to the expanse of the void. Okay, that didn't answer the question. Okay. Isn't that what you wanted? Okay, so... Oh, we're out of time anyway, so... Alright, oh man. So that is the dark truth of this world. It's being basically unwoven by time, and it requires the sacrifice of people from outside realms in order to survive. So, I mean, how many countless people are being kept alive by the sacrifices of just a few? But then again, these people are also being misled. They're only being told the truth at the very end when they can't get out of it. Man, that is fucking dark. Man, I didn't expect this game to get so damn dark so quick. Jeez. Oof. Alright, y'all. I guess I'm going to go ahead and pause it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.